Good afternoon. This is the A&E Selection Committee. The agenda May 19th. Present is myself, Mr. Larvin, Ms. Perry. Meetings 4:30. Alexandria City Council meetings and council committee meetings are broadcast live and may be viewed live by the public on Optimum Cable Channel 4. A rebroadcast may be viewed on Optimum Cable Channel 4 and the City of Alexandria website, www.cityofalexandria.louisiana.com. One item on the agenda, to consider proposal from firms or service professionals for the proposed downtown sidewalk improvements. We only have one bid of 4. Mr. Goins, will you be speaking on this, or anyone from the administration? We just need to.
No, sir. If there are any questions, I can help address them. But as you said, there was just one qualified respondent.
Yeah, I saw that.
And even if there is one submission, the city engineer, the engineer in training, and the urban forester still make a committee. They still review the proposals to make sure that the respondents are qualified. In this case, it's a firm we have worked with before, and indeed, they can do the work.
Oh, yes, I'm familiar with Ballard's work for the city, and I've always been concerned about only having one bid, but in lieu of what you stated, Mr. Larvin or Mrs. Perry, y'all have any comments on it?
Did anybody else bid on this project?
No, ma'am.
That's the one bid.
I think they'd expected some of the other firms, but it is a bit of a smaller project, so maybe it wasn't as attractive.
Can you describe the project to me?
Yes, sir. So the city engineering office made an application to the state. It's called the Transportation Alternatives Program. They had requested twice as much money, but the state's awarding us $2 million to get started on modernizing the city's sidewalks downtown. This would be largely improving the curb ramps, making sure everything's ADA compliant. And the city's going to start that around the state courthouse, around the city customer service building. They're near the city court, some of the more used assets, and there is quite a few issues over there. I'm sure as you can practice over there, you've seen how the condition of the sidewalks can get.
Okay.
Is that the only area?
That's where we're going to start. We'd like to keep it going, but it's a good start for now.
So start down and spread out.
Yes, sir.
All right. Will it,
And,
this won't go to any residential areas, it would just mainly be?
no, this is just mainly downtown.
Mainly downtown.
I mean, this amount of money will start out, I think, about 10 blocks or so, maybe 12 blocks. And then some of the we have other planned projects coming through the MPO, Boise 6th Street. As a part of those projects, those sidewalks will get fixed. So these are trying to find the places that are going to get, left, not a part of that, are they pre-programmed
All right.
improvements.
So in essence, we want to prioritize the highly used areas
Exactly.
and then branch out to the not as highly used
Sure.
areas.
Like I said, the city engineering office applied for twice as much money, so they have that identified the priorities.
Okay.
And, it's a condition, of course, and how often it gets used.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
I have no further
Becoming
questions.
ADA compliant is a serious deal.
That's true, that over time, all communities are supposed to, as they repair and replace things, bring things into compliance with federal law.
Expensive.
That's right. No, it's not cheap.
Could I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
On almost every corner on Jackson Street along downtown, they're putting in a whole bunch of structure, look like a big lights or something.
I think that's the state.
It's DOT, but I've seen it yet, but do you know what it is?
No, I believe that is the state upgrading these traffic signals,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not certain of that because it's not a city project.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
knew
is.
that.
Yeah.
There's no-
The state is upgrading all the traffic signals there down Jackson, Elliott, and Buckington, downtown as well. And also, for the panel to know, in DOTD and the city are working together to replace those lights underneath the underpasses that we brought to someone's attention a couple of weeks ago. So as a safety process, people going under there stopping at those lights at nighttime. So, anyway, working together as the DOTD and the city.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other comments and statements on this, Mr. Lauren and Ms. Berry?
We're good.
Recommendation to accept it,
That's my recommendation, to accept it and submit it to the full council.
Second.
all right. Moved and second and accepted, and, Mr. Director, we accept this and we'll go forward with, I know Ballard's work is, it speaks for itself. Thank you.
Thank you.
No other items on the agenda. The A&E Selection Committee is adjourned. Thank you, thank you.
To convene the legal committee agenda. Today is May 19, 2026. We have, Madam Clerk, please take roll.
Mr. Fowler?
I'm here.
Ms. Felter? Mr. Lordan?
I'm here. Okay. I think I want to wait till Ms. Felton gets here. Yeah, I'm going to give her a few minutes to get here. I'll give her a few minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Are you all right?
I am.
You got the cooties.
Make me laugh.
We got a resuscitator.
I was in Sam's and forgot the time, and I gotta go back and get my medicine.
I'm not good at being sick. Y'all women can deal with things better than us men. Turn into a real big baby.
Y'all big babies, y'all are.
Yeah, I'm proud of that.
Y'all are babies. You just roll with it.
Yeah.
Roll with it through graduation last night, and here I am today.
Yeah, yeah. Come get your medicine and lay it down.
Yeah.
Mr. Guest, Mr. Guest, I'm going to ask that you explain the provisions, and one deals with veto. I think it's section 2-27, and revised statute 42:19. All right. Do you need to get those materials, or do you have them committed to memory?
Well, I have it memorized, and have it approved. Maybe I can get the sub-points right.
Okay.
I'm familiar.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So I can't say that?
Yeah. I'm just saying whatever you say is on
Okay, all right. All right. We're gonna wait. Hot mics. I told him, we're gonna wait, Tell you what, let's just adjourn until she arrives. We'll do that. Yeah.
Still got a hot mic.
Yep, still gotta have mics. So let me go in the back so I won't get myself in trouble.
What's going on?
Run out of paper.
Madam Clerk, two people are here, myself and Mr. Fowler. I was told Ms. Felter was 5 minutes out, but she has not yet made it here. All right, Alexandria City Council meetings and council committee meetings are broadcast live and may be viewed live by the public on Optimum Cable Channel 4. A rebroadcast may be viewed on Optimum Cable Channel 4 and the City of Alexandria website, www.cityofalexandriala.com. There's one matter on the agenda, and that's to have a discussion with the administration about the veto process. I've received a letter from the mayor advising that it would not be appropriate for the administration to discuss this matter since it is overriding a veto is a function of the council. And I tend to agree with them, but the lawyers are with the administration, and I know you have a legal advisor, and I'm just going to have some questions on how this process works. So, Mr. Gist, could you begin by explaining Section 2-27 of the city charter to me?
Yes, sir. Not looking at the charter, but in my recollection of what the charter provision says and talks about, there's a provision that after council action on the adoption of an ordinance, the executive, the mayor, has a right to consider a veto. The mayor can execute the veto by simply advising the council that he has chosen to exercise his right of veto, and he generally is, under the charter, he has to send out a written message.
Okay.
The charter section provides that the mayor's right to do so is within an 8-day period after adoption by the council of an ordinance, and the ordinance being presented to the mayor. The mayor then presents the vetoed ordinance with the veto message to the city clerk. The charter instructs that the city clerk shall then advise the council at the next regular meeting.
Here, pause right there. Let the record reflect that Council Lady Felter is present. Resume, Mr. Gist.
The veto is an executive action by the executive of the city, and in our case, the mayor. There's similar provisions in other home rule charters in the state of Louisiana that are comparable to the city of Alexandria, and some are identical to the provision in paragraph C that I'm referring to. Paragraph C has an additional sentence. First, it says that it's to be presented, the veto is to be presented by the clerk at the next regular council meeting. At that point, the charter instructs that the council may re-adopt the ordinance by 2/3 vote. That is a separate matter from the executive. That's a council action, and that's by motion. Motions are simply instruments, and each council member has a right to bring a motion. I think your question initially had to do with the interplay of the charter provision with another state law, which is the open meeting law. But I first would point out to the council, and Mr. Martin, as you're aware, that the city council also has codified the same provision in the charter is in the Alexandria Code of Ordinance under council procedures in Chapter 2, and it's the exact same language. So the charter council procedures follow exactly what the charter talks about with the veto.
Okay, so the council adopts an ordinance, the mayor, on a Tuesday meeting, the mayor has 8 days to veto it. He presents his veto to the city clerk, who in turn presents it to the individual council members, correct?
To the count, and she has to present the clerk is required by the charter to present this at the next regular meeting. And then the next sentence says, if the council chooses to re-adopt the ordinance, it can do so by a 2/3 vote of the entire council membership.
Now, my question is, when does the council vote to potentially override the veto?
At the next regular meeting, when the clerk advises the council that the veto has been received by the council.
All right.
And of course, she does that by placing something on the agenda, because that fits in with the other state act, which is Title 42, Section 19, which sets out, it's the open meeting law. And in paragraph, I think it's 2-B, it provides that items can be placed on the agenda, but an item has to be placed on the agenda with specificity. And it's there in the statute, because that's where the public is advised as to the subject matter of matters that may be put on the agenda, such as a motion or an ordinance or a resolution.
All right, so we receive the veto at the next meeting unless we put something, unless we put something on the agenda to vote on it, we cannot vote on it.
Unless a member, within 24 hours before the meeting, that's the open meeting.
Okay.
Any member of the council can place on the agenda, as long as it's done 24 hours ahead of time, they can put on the agenda an item to consider reconsideration or readoption of the ordinance.
All right, so that has to be done before the meeting.
That has to be, that's because of the open meeting law requirement, as any matter on the agenda. Now, it doesn't have to be done in a meeting, but 24 hours before the meeting. If a matter is brought up during a meeting and by unanimous consent, the entire council membership moves to add something to the agenda.
Are there any questions, Mr. Fowler? Are there any questions, Ms. Felter? Ms. Green, do you have any questions?
I do, yes. Mr. Gist, let's go back to December the 16th. Item F, to receive and consider the mayor's veto message regarding ordinance number 129-205. Let's now go forward to Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. Item F, to receive and consider the mayor's veto message regarding ordinance number 25-206. Mr. Gist, I vividly recall on December the 16th, we had nothing on the agenda to override the mayor's veto, but we did make a unanimous move to consider overriding the veto, and it happened. I want to know what transpired, what's changed from December the 16th to May the 5th, because it's the same item, minus the ordinance. You sat there and said that we couldn't override the veto because we didn't put anything on the agenda, but December 16th, we did not have anything on the agenda, and we did do it. So tell me, please, what was the difference?
Well, I didn't say that, Mr. Green. If you recall, I was...
It's on video, sir.
And I believe exactly what happened at the last meeting was the matter was brought up by the clerk, it was read by the president, that the veto was received. There was silence initially, and the clerk was moving to the next agenda item because no one had made any motion, at which point you asked specifically, you asked the question, you wanted to speak to the administration about the veto, at which point the city clerk advised you that there was not any comment on the matter because there was no additional motion placed on the agenda. That's what happened, Mr. Green.
Mr. Gist, again, December 16th, item F. We had nothing on the agenda to override the veto, yet we overrode the veto. I've, in the past, have had information given to me from you, and Chuck Fowler, I'm sorry, Mr. Fowler, excuse me, Chuck Johnson, the former attorney, told me that you'll say stuff and it does not be factual. I believe you got upset when I told you that. Chuck Johnson, the former attorney, said that. So my question to you in this audience, between December the 16th and May the 5th, what changed, sir?
Mr. Green, your predicate is full of complete inaccuracies. And
I don't think so.
you're referring to matters which I don't know are on the record. It's very difficult for me to answer that, your question with the predicate. What did change was that there was a motion made, and the clerk advised you that there was nothing on the agenda to add, to bring up any motion to reconsider.
Nor was there anything on the agenda December the 16th.
Did you raise that as an issue in December, Mr. Green?
No, because we took a vote to override the veto, and the veto was on the redistricting. So,
Did you find
and all I
any
asked
objection
was,
to that, Mr. Green?
excuse me, sir,
Did you find any objection to that?
did I find an objection to it? No, because on December 16th, we voted on overriding the veto. May 5th, we were told we couldn't do it because we didn't put anything on the agenda. I simply asked, as the attorney for the city, what changed, sir?
Mr. Green, I'm not aware of anything changing.
Well, we were told we couldn't, even after I asked the question, we made a motion. Mr. Larvin made the motion, Mr. Johnson seconded, we took a vote, and I'm just asking, and it was,
I want to interrupt. Just to make sure we're keeping apples and apples and oranges to oranges, it's my appreciation in December, we were allowed to vote on overriding the veto. And it failed. It failed.
But it did, I do remember in general that there was a vote and it failed. I don't
It failed.
remember the protocols,
And-
who raised what issues, if anyone objected, et cetera.
And-
I just know what happened 2 weeks ago.
Well, I just, so just, let me get back to you, Mr. Brother Green, but I just want to make sure that I understand the process and others understand the process. In December, we were allowed to vote as a council to override it. Now, it failed, but we were allowed to vote.
Mr. Lordain, it's entirely possible that someone, including Mr. Green, had told the clerk that they were going to bring a motion. I don't know what happened in December. I can tell you what happened 2 weeks ago. Neither Mr. Green or anyone else put on the council agenda a motion to comply with open meeting law.
Okay, all right. And the last meeting, I made a motion to add it to the agenda by unanimous consent.
And that's perfectly within your rights.
And that failed. I voted, and Council Perry voted no, and that was the end of it, to add it on the agenda to take a subsequent vote.
That's correct.
Okay, all righty. So, Brother Green, please continue.
so, Mr. Giss, the way you're speaking, I'm going to say you're gaining selective amnesia on what occurred December 16th. But it did occur. May 5th, same item, different ordinance, and we weren't allowed, and we were told we should have put something on the agenda. And my question then was, we didn't do it December 16th, why are we doing it required May the 5th? That's all I want to know, why, what changed? And you're saying you didn't do anything, you're saying that the clerk told us we should have put something on there, but we did it December the 16th, but wasn't allowed to do it May the 5th.
Mr. Green, do you think the clerk ought to tell you what the Parliament, the rules and the open meeting law is?
Not necessarily, you're the city attorney, acting city attorney, whatever your capacity is, and Mr. Goins said right there, did correct, you or her. And that's why I asked, if we did it December 16th, what was the matter for doing it May the 5th, sir? That's all I was asking. What changed? It changed. We can go back and pull the tape, I assure you.
I don't know what changed. You had every right to add it to the agenda last meeting. I guess you didn't add it.
We did add it, and it was voted down, but the fact of the matter was, it was the ruckus that we was told that we had got it on, we had 22 days prior to this to be added to it, but May the 15th, December 16th, let me get the date straight. December 16th, we did not.
Mr. Green, don't you want to be told what the law is?
I want to be told properly what the law is, sir, and I don't want it to change from meeting to meeting.
Well, don't you think your clerk should tell you what the law is and that so you can follow the law?
I appreciate what the clerk said, but I'm also, sir, you have a Juris Doctorate. So if she told me something that was incorrect, us, the seven, you should have corrected it, you or Mr. Goins. So we've got where we're at right now. Mr. Larvin, thank you for the time.
Now, I got another question now. Since the veto was not approached, can we revisit that issue, or is it over?
As I understand your charter and your code of ordinances, it's in the same paragraph. It says it shall be presented at the next regular meeting, and if the council chooses to re-adopt, it should do so. That has always been interpreted, not only in Alexandria, but in other jurisdictions, to be that meeting. Otherwise, you could do it at any time thereafter forever.
Okay, I understand. Because when I read it, I didn't see it any
And there's
time.
procedures, just like in Baton Rouge, it's the same thing.
Well, today was an educational class for me and others who are listening, so that they can understand the process. So in the future, whenever there is a veto, if the council wants to override it, we need to make sure we put it on the agenda.
Any council member has an absolute right, 24 hours before the regular meeting, to place the matter on the council agenda. Your procedure rules say it ought to be done by a fact sheet, but your clerks do that all the time. And they've always been instructed to follow the instructions of the council.
Now, it seems like that deadline is longer than the typical deadline that we use. Is that correct, Ms. Emily?
We have a week because we have to put your books together and we have to get that out. And it takes a while to compile.
Okay. So, are you telling us that the final deadline is to put someone on the agenda is 24 hours before the meeting?
That is the open meetings law,
Okay.
but for us, it is the Tuesday before at noon,
Now, who is us?
the clerk's office.
Okay. Is there a law that requires that?
That is not a law, that's just how.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would have to be continually pulling the meeting down and posting it again, and pulling it back down and reposting, because typically we post the meeting on that Tuesday as well.
But the deadline is 24 hours before the meeting, though? Okay. Any other questions? All right. I think we all should have a better understanding how the process works. This committee is adjourned.
The Alexandria City Council meeting is called to order Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. Alexandria City Council meeting and council committee meetings are broadcast live and may be viewed live by the public on Optum Cable Channel 4. A rebroadcast may be viewed on Optum Cable Channel 4 in the City of Alexandria website. We have the invocation by Councilman Johnson and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Fowler.
Bow head. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you asking you again to help us navigate our way through these meetings. Watch over Alexandria, dear Lord. Dear Lord, watch over our seniors who graduated and going to a world they never explored before. Watch over the parents of these kids, God, because they're going to go through things they never went before to, God. In your holy name, God, we ask you for all these and many more. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We had a roll call, please.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Ms. Stelter? Here. Mr. Green?
Present.
Mr. Fowler?
I think I'm here.
Mr. Boulevard?
Here.
Mr. Lawberdane?
Here.
Ms. Perry?
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
We have the approval of the minutes taken from the regular meeting held on May 5th. Need a motion. Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments. Public comments, what section of the written minutes would you like to make a comment on? If it is not in the written minutes, there will not be any discussion or comments, only on the minutes. If you have any questions pertaining to any item on the agenda, please contact the administration before or after the meeting. Discussion, public comments, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
F, consent calendar.
Public comments.
What is it?
Public comments
On what?
on the minute.
That's what it says, right?
Yeah.
I don't say resource.
E is on,
What,
I don't know about.
Yeah, Violet Wild?
Ms. Wild?
I'm sorry.
District 3. I would like to challenge the minutes. You guys violated the city charter by not engaging in the override vote following the veto. Section 2-15C. It needs to be a whole other agenda item to override the veto. I would urge you to review the video from May 5th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Wow.
Wild.
I have a question. Well, I mean, what do we do with that?
Well, we at committee, we just
Discussed
discussed
it.
that it doesn't violate the charter, what we did.
But she's lodged a complaint, Mr. Gist. How do we address that? I don't think we should just ignore it.
He's entitled to make a comment. It
Okay.
doesn't necessarily raise any items.
Okay.
The matter before y'all is to adopt,
The
to
minute.
approve the minutes.
I mean, is it a typo or is it,
Was it a typo in the minutes, Ms. Wilder, or you just,
Her gripe is we didn't attempt to override the veto. That's her.
That was 5 minutes.
That's not.
Mr. Scott?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My comment is also in regards to the veto process. At the last meeting, the council was informed that a majority veto could not be overridden under the city charter. Based on that statement, no motion to override was allowed and no public comment was allowed. And it was also stated that any attempt to override would have to be placed as a separate item on the agenda at the next meeting. However, after reviewing the city charter, specifically the sections that address veto messages, sections 2-11 through 2-15C, Those provisions outline the mayor's ability to veto and return items to the council, but they do not state that a veto is final, nor do they prohibit the council from overriding the veto. So for the sake of transparency, consistency, and public trust, it's important that the rules are applied uniformly and supported by the governing document. So I feel that those rules should apply to all meetings, not just the last one.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Mr. White?
Thank you, Madam President. My name is Mr. Cornelius Lawson White Jr. I live at 3638 10th Street in Alexandria, Louisiana, 71302, and my phone number is area code 318-446-6934. I'm glad the young lady and young man pointed out these inconsistencies, but, you know, the public is the main thing y'all should be supporting. And public comment, you know, when you deny public comment, that hurts a whole lot of people. And I just wish that this city council would just let the people, you know, have some say in what's going on and stuff. And I appreciate Jules Green telling us that your override veto was different in December than what it was in May. So he says there's videotape of it, and I hope y'all will go back and see that videotape and see the difference between that override veto in December and this that was stopped. And I hate to say it, Ms. Perry, but you voted against it. I wish you would let somebody else vote no. But I just don't understand how it could change from December to May. Now, y'all say y'all are following the charter. These two young people, the young man and young lady, said that you're not following the charter. So somebody's not telling the truth. And I don't know who is and who isn't. But, you know, election time will be coming around again, and we'll see who will be in the office. So God bless you, and
It's
God
minutes.
bless America.
Thank you, Mr. White. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
F, consent calendar. Number 1, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for janitorial supplies. Number 2, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for minimum of 130 passenger trolley. The administration is requesting that this item be delayed for 2 weeks. Number 3, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Flock to provide investigative support for the Alexandria Police Department. Number 4, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the existing contract with Taylorscapes for landscape maintenance services at Alexandria Gateways. Number 5, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the existing contract with Taylorscapes for landscape maintenance service at Acadian Park. Number 6, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the existing contract with Taylorscapes for landscape maintenance service at HDQ Park. Number 7, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the existing contract with Taylorscape for landscape maintenance service at Compton Park. Number 8, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest proposal received for Taylorscape for landscape maintenance services at 3rd Street Rain Garden. Number 9, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest proposal received from Taylorscapes for landscape maintenance service at Bolton Avenue Rain Gardens. Number 10, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest proposal received from U.S. Lawn of Alexandria for landscape maintenance services at Rapides Trail. Number 11, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the existing contract with Yankee Clipper Holding, doing business as Yankee Clipper for landscape maintenance services at Holocaust Park. Number 12, introduction of an ordinance rezoning the rear portion of lots 12, 13, and 14 located at 1305, 1307, and 1311 Darkin Street, Alexandria, Louisiana, from a SF2 single family to a B3 general business. Number 13, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the existing contract with Kaplan's Inc. for uniform bid for the police department. Number 14, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter the professional service agreement with Booth and Associate for an electric load study for Twin Bridges Road substation in LA 28 West area. Number 15, introduction of the ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the award of $2 million from LADOTD Transportation Alternate Professional TAP for the reconstruction of downtown sidewalk improvements Phase 1.
A motion, please.
Move with the exception of, was it number 2?
Number 2, yes, sir. Delay
Okay.
for 2 weeks.
Okay. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Valord. Any items to committee?
Like number 15.
Okay.
Number 15, committee.
Resolutions.
Resolution number 16, a resolution authorizing advertisement for bid for annual uniform for the fire department.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second. Motion by Councilman Valord, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments? Mr. White?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome.
I hope, again, I was reading, y'all were saying y'all were dealing with captains for the police department, so I hope for the fire department, you'll be dealing with shop local and stay local, and maybe captains can get the fire department uniforms too. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 17, a resolution authorizing advertisement for bids for 3-phase pad mount.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Valord. Public comments? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 18, resolution authorizing advertisement for bid for spun pre-stressed wood pole equivalent concrete poles.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Valord. Public comments? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 19, a resolution authorizing advertisement for bids for single-phase pole mount.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler,
Second.
second by Councilman Valord. Public comments? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 20, a resolution authorizing advertisement for bid for single-phase pad mount.
Motion, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 21, a resolution authorizing advertisement for bid for chlorination and dechlorination equipment.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Valord. Public comments? Discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 22, a resolution authorizing advertisement for bids for the healthcare clinic building renovation.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Valord. Public comments? Discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 23, a resolution supporting a City of
You wanna
Alexandria
talk?
agreement with and between the Rapides Parish School Board and the Rapides Parish Police Bureau for potential youth programs in the Monroe Street area.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Lawberdane.
We have some.
Public comments? Mr. White?
I see that it's just covering Monroe Street, and I would wonder why this wouldn't be either a citywide thing or anything like that. I mean, I appreciate that it's covering Monroe Street and that the police jury and the city and the school board are all working together, but it needs to be some type of citywide effort because, you know, we got some problems over there in my district, and, you know, the kids need something to do. Okay, and I just wish I wish y'all would make it citywide or, you know, like I said, in my district, there are a lot of poor kids and they need something to keep themselves busy during the summer. Because, you know, an idle mind is a devil's workshop, and you see all these teens all over the country shooting up the place in Austin, Texas, over there in San Diego at that mosque and stuff. And just that teenagers need something to do, something to occupy their time. So
I
that's
agree with
my
you, Mr.
comment.
White.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Scott? Oh, who is your spokesman? Miss,
Good evening.
good evening.
The hardest job in this world is an educator. I've been up since 4 o'clock, exhausted, but I'm here today, and I'm here for a cause. I have Journey Pipes with me. This came about, my principalship, this time coming to MMS and stepping out and seeing that we work hard and we go at the table with our kids every day. And what I noticed that this community of where Alexandria Middle Magnet is, Huddle Elementary, Ellis Rugg, as well as Rosenthal, and I spoke to all those players, and we came to a conclusion that this is the only side of town in Rapides Parish, part of town, that do not have recreation. We know that there's Franco Hanna, they've added some things there and adding more, but our kids leave. I have 500 that leave Alexandria Middle every day, Huddle, Rosenthal, as well as Ellis Rugg, and they go into a crime, drug-infested area. And it's getting worse. And we know what has happened. I do not have to call any names of what's happened with a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, and that was in that area. Where our kids have nothing to leave our schools for. They walk past many of the stores. They're solicited out there. And if we're going to make a change in this community, especially in this heavily populated and it's steadily growing on that side of town, we have to come together as a school board, as a city, as a police jury, and say, hey, we're going to do something about this. If not now, when? We will find that it will empty into some of our best neighborhoods. No one is going to be left out until we answer the call to say, hey, it's knocking on our door, and it's starting from elementary. I see it every day in middle school. I saw it at the high school, and that's why I'm back in the middle, but it's emptying into the elementary. And our jobs are to take care of children. I make my decisions at Alexandria Middle in what's best for children, not adults, because they want the best. And so my job is to give them the best. And that's why I have Journey Pipes, and she's going to tell you from her perspective how she feels.
Good afternoon. My name is Journey Pipes. I'm a student that attends Alexandria Middle Magnet School, and I'm speaking on behalf of the student body. I'm speaking today to bring attention to an issue that directly affects me and many other young people in our community, the need for recreation. Every day, students from Ellis Rugg, AMMS, and DF Huddle or Rosenthal walk home from school. For many of us, that walk home is followed by a difficult reality. Once we get home, we are limited to options. We are either confined to our houses with little to do, or return to outside environments that aren't always safe or productive. Unfortunately, the only park in our area is open to crime and impacted by loitering and negative influence. Because of this, there are not always reliable spaces for youth and young people to spend their time. As a result, simply walking home without anything positive or structured to do can begin to influence the choices that young kids make. When young people lack safe environments and guidance, they become more vulnerable to peer pressure, risky behavior, and negative influences. Research supports this concern. Studies show that teens who do not participate in after-school programs are 27% more likely to be arrested and 49% more likely to be engaged in drug use. This demonstrates how important it is to provide safe and structured spaces for youth. A sportsplex on the vacant land that surrounds AMMS would offer exactly that. It would serve as a safe place where students could go after school to participate in sports, receive academic support, build friendships, and develop important life skills. The sportsplex would include heavily populated sports such as football, basketball, soccer, and track. More importantly, it will help strengthen unity within our community. Social emotional learning can be improved when young people come together in a positive environment, encouraging cooperation, respect, and a stronger sense of belonging. In many other surrounding communities, recreational centers are seen as essential resources. However, within our side of town, we currently lack a space like this that is currently safe, consistent, structured, and accessible for youth. This absence is noticeable and impacts their everyday lives. Young kids should not have to choose between isolation at home and exposure to unsafe environments. We deserve a place that supports growth, protects our well-being, and brings us together as a community. A recreational center will not just benefit individuals. It will strengthen our community as a whole by creating safer opportunities, encouraging positive development, and building unity among its youth. We have the tools and we have the talent, so let's make it happen. Thank you.
Young lady.
Mr. Journey.
Young lady, they want to tell you.
I got a message for him. Take her wherever you go and let her speak.
And she's a seventh grader. And these two teachers here, these are our JAG teachers, and she's been with Mr. Allen going on 2 years, and Ms. Reed is the other JAG teacher.
She's also the national champion
Yes.
in JAG for prepared speaking.
And the young man that beat her out was from Baton Rouge. At state. And she went back and did her homework, and she beat him out in nationals.
Wow. All right, Mr. Stewart, I commend, oh, go ahead. Okay.
I'm going to tell Mr. Stewart how you feel about it.
No, you go ahead, Chef. You go ahead.
Oh, God. Man, that's good. That's good. We came together as a whole. Mr. Stewart, I was glad he came back. I watched Mr. Stewart many days walk down to Sunset with those kids. They shooting Mr. Dennis, he's still walking them kids trying to get them home. Right? Those are the reasons that I ran, because I knew what was going on. Great people doing great things. We want to make sure that we bring the community back in District I. And Monroe Street, I apologize that you think it's on one side of town, but it's my district runs from Boyce to the mall. But that area is very, crime rate is bad. Police there all the time. We thank them for doing their job. But we got to continue to work, make sure these kids be safe. We don't want to deal with just a baseball, basketball field. We want to make sure we got some education going there too, arts, crafts, whatever. We need a community pool bank. We're going to open the tables up. Malcolm came with the idea. He came to the table. The school board sat down. Myself as a police juryman, I sat at the table. Mr. Stewart said, let's get together. Let's do what we got to do for the community. Not us. We old. We grown. It's for the children. When we not here, they still going to grow. We need them to show the work of our next levels. I thank y'all for continuing to believe in our children and believe in us.
Absolutely.
It's never been done. Police juries never sat at the table with the city council. Never. I'm going to tell the truth. Never. Has a police jury and the school board, I was never set the table together as one whole to come with one idea. Never. Now we're doing it. Let's not take it away from where we're going. Mr. Capper, I'm going to speak on it. Don't get between our projects up. Don't let us roll. Don't come chasing, trying to get a school board to go against what we're doing. It's for the kids. Y'all stop my little league that I've been doing for 25 straight years. Every day. The day I got out of prison, I gave myself to these children. Every day. 25 years. Don't stop what we're doing right now, son. You or Jock Roy, neither one of y'all better stop what we're doing. We're doing what's best for the community.
Mr. Scott. You good.
Okay. All right,
You go first.
You go.
okay, well. Go ahead.
Come on, Ms. Shamir.
I was just waiting on everybody else. Good evening, Shamir, District 4. I'm speaking on item 23. I'm really taken away by what she said. Justice?
Journey.
So I'm just going to say, I'm looking forward to this agreement. We have kids in District 1, 2, and 3 who have never been on Jackson Street, let alone Versailles, let alone Johnny Downs. How do I know? Because I've stayed in 1, 2, or 3 before I was able to live in District 4. District 4 ain't all that, just so y'all know. You know, it's just a mixed up neighborhood. We have black people, we have white people. It's just, mean, it's just not as crime-filled, as 1, 2, or 3. That's all I can really say. That's why we stay there. We don't want to stay in the hood. I'm just being honest. We don't want to be robbed. We don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of drug addicts. We don't want to be surrounded by kids shooting at each other all the time. So we chose to pay high rent and stay on District 4. But no details were in the info packet, so I don't know what this is about, but I'm all for it. We do need it citywide, 100%. We already lost a couple of our kids during spring break, and summer hasn't even hit yet. I don't know what y'all gonna do, but we need our kids. That's all I have to say on this one.
Okay, is it my turn? Okay, all right. I understand that some people feel that District 1 is crime-ridden. I love District 1, I love the city of Alexandria. We have problems there, but there's some great people who live in District 1. And I'm doing my best to improve District 1 and the city of Alexandria. Juvenile crime is a problem, okay? Our governor's solution is to build more beds at Renaissance. I don't really think that's a viable solution. I think we need to really find a way to change how our children deal with conflict. In too many instances, they want to grab a gun, which is nothing more than a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I know we heard about the 8 and the 10-year-old who shot each other. I was in court with them. It was devastating, as a juvenile public defender. Y'all hear about the problems, and y'all talk about them on social media, but I see them and read the reports and look in the eyes of these children and the parents who, many are in disbelief as to what has happened. So juvenile crime is something that I deal with on a daily basis. I know Mrs. Scott comes up there on a regular basis and sees the business that we do. But crime is something that affects all of us. So, and as to Mr. White, your question as to why it was just on District 1, because I'm a lifelong resident of Alexandria. I've ridden down Monroe Street tens of thousands of times, and I see that big lot next to AMMS that's been vacant for at least 50 years. At least 50 years. And I also didn't realize that the largest concentration of young people is on the north side. I didn't realize that until Mr. Stewart brought that to my attention. So, as you said, when you hit the podium, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Let's build something there to keep our young people engaged and to keep them from going down a road that they really can't come back from. So, districts 1 through, 2 through 5 have areas that need attention. And if a particular council member wants to make a motion to do something in that district, I'm all in favor of it. So, I'm just happy that this young lady has been the spokesperson for the school. I know when Mr. Stewart asked me to get involved, I immediately went to the school and we walked the grounds and have some ideas as to what can be done. The property is owned by the Rapides Parish School Board. They passed a resolution for this matter, I want to say about a couple weeks ago or a month ago. So they're in favor of it. And I have assurances from Mr. Scott that the police jury will be doing the same. So hopefully this is the beginning of something very beneficial for not only the young people, but for that area of town. So I encourage all of my council members to vote in favor of it. Juvenile crime is something that involves all of us. None of us are immune from it. And I feel that this is the right step to catching them young and reprogramming them. And, our gun laws are very lax. You can get a gun very easily. And we all know that it cannot be recalled once that trigger is pulled. So let's try loving on our kids a different way so that we can get better outcomes. So I encourage everyone's support for this resolution.
Mr.
I want to say something to Stewart. Man, you are amazing. I watched you the last 5 years. You and I got a friendship. And man, kids, man, I got 12 grandkids now. And I can't sleep at night because, all the crazy stuff goes on with them. I just graduated one last night. I got one graduating from Ash in about an hour and a half. Young lady, you are amazing. You are amazing. There's so much negative going on, but you got, oh man. I love to see stuff like that. Anita, I didn't recognize you. We grew up together right there. I did not recognize you. We grew up together from 5 and 6 years old. I'm a year older than you. I'm so glad to see you. Jay, you always on top of your game, brother. I love that. Teacher, I ain't met you yet, but I'll meet you. And I know we got some more like that right there. You just stay focused. You stay focused.
I like to do Mr. Stewart like he used to do me. When we had events that we had to attend, and he was the speaker, but when we get to the events, you go on, Miss Perry, you do this, Miss Perry. So tonight, you don't even know. This is something that is serious to him. For Mr. Stewart to attend a council meeting and open his mouth, this is his baby. And when he grabs onto his baby, and I'm not talking about what nobody told me or told me, I'm talking about what I saw him do at Peabody Magnet High. When he has a baby, he's going to nurture that baby until that baby is full-grown adult. Mr. Stewart, I am for your project. This is not the first time that you have brought up many ideas for our children. You are a principal who loves kids, who will do what is best for them. And like I said, for you to get to this mic, this means a lot to you. Young lady, Miss Journey, you keep taking your journey, because your journey is going to take you a long way. You stick with those people, you stick with Mr. Stewart, and you stick with her, and your journey will be a successful, bountiful, and always keep God in the midst of your journey, and you will have a successful journey. I wish you guys the best. Mr. Scott, I have no words for you. Sometimes they mean words, sometimes they bad words, sometimes they good words. But one thing I could say is that when we trolled together, it was always about the kids and always trying to put something in Kelly Lane for the kids. For that, I respect you. Let's do what we got to do, council members, to make this work.
I have a couple comments. Thank you for bringing this idea. Thank you for, I think, as a Rapides Parish employee as well, we hear we're better together, but I think realizing that if we can come together and do something like this, and bring these different groups together, we have to start somewhere. Of course, you can think big city, but the whole city, but if you start somewhere, then we can build on that. And your school is looking amazing and beautiful with all the renovations, and I know that's something that your students are going to be proud of. And so I think adding to that in the neighborhood, I don't live too far from there, and so I think that coming together is something that is going to be a really beautiful thing. And I also reached out to Malcolm because I was like, there's nothing in the fact sheets about what is this about? And he said that, we were going to speak on it and get to hear a little more. So I think, as I'm understanding right now, this is just an idea phase, like we want to come together and bring
it's
to the table between the groups.
Yes, the school board they passed a resolution. They're the owners of the property.
Right.
And what this resolution is designed to do is to compel the administration, along with the parish and the school board, to come down and talk and share ideas. Now, I'm here to tell you, Mr. Stewart, being the steward of the project, he has some ideas, and there have been some some initial renderings as to what they would like to be put on the property. And the school board has had some discussion on it, but it's still early in its early phases. So, this is a time for us to put our money where our mouth is. We claim we love our children. So this is a time for the City of Alexandria to do that.
Question, let's vote on it.
Yes.
Let's vote on it. All right, let's move on.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 24, resolution to co-sponsor the Christus Cabrini Foundation Glow for the Girls in October 2026.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second. Second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 25, a resolution to co-sponsor Zeta Phi Zeta Phi Community Foundation Scholarship Workshop in October 2026.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Motion carried.
Number 26, resolution to adopt PUD reports 2026 through 2027 annual action plan.
Moved by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments?
Shamir, District Board. Going through the 44 pages of the 2026-27 draft annual action plan, I noticed a few things, and I see Ms. Shirley not here, so I'll talk to you, Daniel. So Shirley said there was a meeting for June 15th, but no one submits comments and no one shows up. She also stated that she publishes this notice in the Town Talk and posts this on the community development page. Have we not tried any other avenues like utilizing the benefits of HUD Section 3? I'll read a little bit of that for you. U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Section 3 is a federal economic opportunity program created under the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968. Its purpose is to ensure that HUD-funded housing and community development projects create jobs, training, and contracting opportunities for low and very low-income persons, especially residents of public housing and other HUD-assisted housing. Also, there were over $680,000 left over in the funds. Do we know what services were being reduced and not provided with this money? This is over $500,000 of federal money. It says that the home buyer assistance budget has $145,493.37. How do we get that distributed to the ratepayers and citizens? The slum and blight areas in this report were detailed as North Alexandria, the Central Business District, Samtown, Woodside, Lower Third, South Alexandria. Lastly, the Central Louisiana Homeless Coalition has 151 homeless persons within the Alexandria city limits. This is a study they said they did February 2026. So what are we doing about that? I looked at all of those pages, 44 pages, and those were my concerns.
Thank you. You want?
This is the annual HUD action plan that the council, we request for a resolution. We also do 10-year plans and 5-year plans. Appreciate the comments. There will be a comment period for the next few weeks. If anyone, members of the public, whoever else want to submit a comment on the plan, they can email cda@cityofalex.com. That's the Community Development Administrator email address, CDA. It outlines each year how we spend money in numerous areas. Of course, part of it is supplements the demolition and condemnation budget, homeowner assistance programs. Right now, we're doing a big push for home major rehab. These are intensive renovations to people's homes who absolutely need them. You guys, I think, are aware that whenever we put this program out, there are quite a few applicants, and we wish we could serve more people. Just to address a couple of the comments from the commenter and then anything else the council may have. This isn't like the city's budget. It's not that we have to spend every dime every year or we'll lose it. Oftentimes, especially with home funds, we'll build them up for a few years and then try to do an impactful project, such as these affordable housing, the rental projects we've done in the past, such as Gates at River Chase. A single year's allocation isn't enough to do a big project like that. Sometimes the department's not able to spend everything, either because of lack of qualified applicants, lack of contractors, so those dollars can be reprogrammed. Right now, we are making sure that we spend every dollar that we are allocating and don't lose any funds. Once we get to the next home major rehab house, I believe we will accomplish that at least till the next summer or the end of the federal fiscal year that ends in 27. So I do want to assure the council that we're not losing any money in those terms. And I do also want to address the report speaking to certain areas of town as being slum and blight. When the city first designated target areas in 2010, we relied on a study done by a group called JQuad. What that does is allow you to, instead of having to qualify each individual for the income, you can look at different areas of town and spend the money on an area basis. This is especially helpful in the demolition and condemnation program. So for those 10 years, we used the term target area. I believe in 2020, under the previous administration, that a different consultant, they used the slum and blight term. Now that comes from HUD federal regulations, it's also defined in state law. I just want to say that the city, the administration, certainly the Department of Community Development, doesn't see these areas of towns as being slums.
Yeah, because I had a
Their whole job, day in and day out, is trying to improve these communities. I do understand how, though, people might see that it's an outmoded term and not feel proud about having the city designate their areas as slums. So we can look at changing that back to target areas.
Yes,
But I just want to say that we are sensitive to that. We understand that type of concern. It's just a term that came out of federal law. It's in state law. It was picked up previously. And it just allows us to more flexibly spend those funds. And we're required to spend 70% in those target areas. Typically, we spend up to 90%. If you guys have any other concerns about the report itself or anything else, I can try to address
So
it.
the term goes with the report.
That's correct. So the term is to designate a target area, basically, instead of having to qualify people individually on the basis of income. But the term itself, that word, comes out of federal law, it comes out of state law. I wish we could control everything the feds put down in the Federal Register. Obviously, we cannot.
Can we change the term for our local use?
Well, we'll look into that. I don't want to commit right now, but I do know that term wasn't being used until 2020, and at least in this report. But it comes from, federal law.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
If the feds let us, huh?
I mean, like I said, I won't commit right here, but if we weren't using that term before, it seems that we could. No, I understand, but I mean, it stands to reason. If that change was made in 2020, and again, it's nomenclature, I know that words matter and words can hurt. But that was certainly not our intent.
So you say the funds we don't use is carried over?
Yes, sir.
So if it don't matter if it's fiscal year passed?
Well, it doesn't carry over forever. We have a time period, so we do have to spend them at a certain point, but it's not like the city's operating budget where you got 12 months or it's.
Okay.
So is the roofing a part of this as well? Because I had several constituents calling me about the roofing. I guess some of them had it done some years back. So is this a part of that?
Yes, some of those fundings do go to that program, the rehab programs.
Okay, so do we know when that program is actually going to start?
Well, we're underway with a group of homes right now that were qualified. I think we've done about 4 or 5 out of 15. I don't know, but we can let you know when we expect another round of applications to go out.
I would definitely like for you to send
Absolutely.
me
And we always have a lot of interest
a
in those.
notice, because I do have several people that have contacted me about the roofing.
Mr. Smith, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What money is going towards affordable home ownership?
So in the plan itself, and it was correctly identified as a draft, we're going to get these comments in. $750,000 has been designated going forward, and that was a response to the mayor's executive order. We haven't designed that program yet, but that's what they think they can put toward that. Because we only get a certain amount of funds per year.
So $750,000 for affordable home ownership.
That's what's being proposed.
Okay. Have we ever used funds for home ownership in the past?
There has been attempts, and it wasn't when I was here, but to do a homeownership program. There was a big challenge in finding contractors willing to do it. My understanding is that if the homes don't sell after about a year, the contractors have to keep ownership and convert it to rental. There's also challenges in finding qualified applicants, although there are ways we can work with the local lending community to try to identify those people. It's a challenging, not saying we can't try to do it, but it is. Rental is more straightforward.
So it looks like the lion's share of the money is going towards home rehab.
I'm not sure about the line share. At least currently, that's what we're spending because we're working off previous plans. That's a big push what we're doing now. Of course, we have condemnations, demolitions. There's leftover American Recovery Act, Home ARC, and a lot of that's going to support the Homeless Coalition. So we do, some of our funds that come from the federal government go toward those services. And there's home buyer assistance programs. That's, helping with closing education, closing costs, that kind of thing.
Now, can homeowners use this program for new windows installation?
When we do the home minor rehab, I believe that's part of.
So that's to come.
We are planning to continue some of those programs. That's correct.
Okay, I'm confused. So are homeowners allowed to use some of those funds for energy efficient windows and insulation?
For the home minor rehab program, that's correct.
All right. Can you tell us how are people primarily using the funds?
So,
what are you guys mainly doing?
Right. So right now we're doing a home major rehab program, and that's for that program. It's been pretty interesting and challenging. We actually get a pod, put people's belongings in the pod. They stay at a hotel for like 2 weeks, and they go in and really knock out a lot in the house. So much where they couldn't just have. Right. So bathroom upgrades, kitchen cabinets, flooring. I mean, that's the home major rehab. So it's major and minor just based on the amount of money going into it.
So they're doing that now?
That's currently happening.
Yeah, because when you said the pod, I seen a house on
maybe Evergreen.
3rd and
That's right.
maybe 3rd and Douglas. Or
Yeah,
3rd,
about
one of those
30
streets.
something, 2,800, 30,
Yeah, and I seen.
3,000, right around there.
I passed by in that morning, passed by that afternoon, the whole house was gutted out.
I did see that. I saw it.
So
Yeah,
that's
the
community
greenhouse.
development. That is this.
So that's part of that program?
That's correct. And then just across the street, I think we did a demo, or maybe just a block down, like a week or two ago.
Next to the church, yeah.
Yeah, so we're rolling down 3rd Street at the moment.
Okay.
We're happy with the progress.
All right. And how many houses do you think will be able to do this for?
So the home major rehab,
Yeah.
that one's, I think, for 15 houses.
15 houses.
I mean, that money
Goes quick.
can only do, exactly,
Yeah.
yes, sir. You can imagine.
It's kind of first come, first serve?
I believe with qualified applicants, there's an income qualification that was run last year, I believe.
And how long does it take for a person to be approved?
I'm not exactly certain about that. I mean, they do them in batches. There'll be one big application period, run the program, evaluate the program to see if you want to try to do that again, because we've done lead rehab programs, these home minor rehab. You have to be kind of nimble with this program. That's why every year we have a new plan, and you see the adjustments over time.
And this major renovation, this is the first time we're doing this.
I'm not certain of that, to be honest. I don't believe it's the very first time, but we have been doing a lot of minor rehabs.
So years ago.
And also putting money into rental developments.
So, Mr. Smith, can I just ask you this? When you all have a project that's coming up for the constituents, can you actually send an email to our clerk so that we can know the time and date when this is going to take place, so we can notify the constituents that has actually been contacting me that may have missed out because I didn't know, when the projects was going to take place?
Absolutely, we'll commit to that.
Application opening for new projects?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I believe it was at Bolton Avenue Community Center last time. Yeah, absolutely, we can do that, of course. Yeah.
Thank you. Through Malcolm.
I have a couple of comments, Mr. Lawberdane. This is the first time, so there's going to be $748,500 for these new construction opportunities in home ownership. That is in direct both translation and as compelled by the executive order I issued about home ownership to start pivoting them. So that's why you're seeing a big move toward the ownership side. That is in direct response to our comments that the two of us have been given to them. They are complying with that order. They have done considerably different work here. I didn't quite catch it. I heard that there was some discussion about use of terms. We don't use the term slum. I think I've given one speech in my life where I've commented about the use of that term as being an inappropriate term, that it's sort of been left to history to not be used. I would point out that I don't know that there's comment. I'm assuming there's some public comment about it. A new consultant came on in the previous administration, not mine, and that new consultant, it's my understanding, adopted those terms. I had long ago. So let me make 2 points. One, the terms are legal terms. They're actually in the HUD statute. So they're in both the regulation and by statute, and they define them a little differently, but they go together. They certainly don't mean the most negative version, but it's a word, like other words, it just brings on a negative thing. When I first saw, or Daniel and them had mentioned that people were questioning about it, we went and looked, and so this is being carried over because this is federal law that uses it. It isn't us that came up with using those terms. This is HUD itself that uses the term. Some people may challenge that and tell HUD they need to kind of get up with the times, but I just want you guys to know that one of the things we're bringing shortly is a new consultant.
That's correct.
To you guys. And so, along with that and some other changes, I think that my administration had always used something like target areas. I don't know exactly, but not slum and blight.
Well, Mayor, does HUD care of the terminology we use?
So I think when you get into the definitional stuff, just on the lawyer side, Mr. Lawverdane, since you're one, I would say maybe you have to kind of get into some of their use, but I know we used target before and it was accepted. So I think we go back to what we want to use, as long as you're defining it as their definition suggests. I would think they won't get caught up on nomenclature that hard. If they do,
It is what it is.
it is what it is, but I just want folks to know that we're not only aware of it, we're aware of language, and this young man is super and hyper aware of language. He doesn't want me to say it, but he is. He's somebody who would bring that himself and say, I don't like this language. So we'll use what we need to use, but we don't, we need you to understand, we weren't for it, and it was existing apart from us.
Sounds good. What matters is every 10 years, we have to evaluate 25%. There's an objective criteria in how you evaluate a target area versus not, whether it's qualified. I think HUD cares a lot more.
Let's talk about, just 1 second again, make sure they understand. So let's call it target area, and just remember that despite their nomenclature being poor, it's a great opportunity because it allows you to reposition money that might not meet income levels and other things, and what I call hybridize this to help have a great function. So it's a good thing. HUD is just stuck with an old terminology.
Okay.
I agree with you, Mayor, but words matter. And to the people that this would really be beneficial for knowing that term is out there and turn some people off. So.
Yeah.
But
again, we didn't come up with using that. We're not. That's not something that we're doing.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
H, ordinances for final adoption subject to public hearing. Number 27, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for the former downtown Weisengo Ring parking garage and adjacent structure site demolition and clearance.
Moved by Councilman Fowler.
Second.
Second by Councilman Millard. Public comments, Mr. Scott.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
The old Weisengo Wing Red Building has been unused since 1992. That's over 30 years of inactivity. I believe that we should let Gate out of the contract so they can put the money towards other things. Because at some point we have to be honest with ourselves. This building, she has fought the good fight, she has finished her course, and we should move forward into what can be.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Mr. White?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome.
We've been talking about this Weiss and Gold Ring building and Gator and all like that. I just wish that the city, I know it was given to them, I guess, but they shouldn't be involved with this building. And I don't know exactly what the city council is going to rule, but, you know, I wish the mayor hadn't vetoed the stuff with Gator and the districts and everything. And I wish y'all could override his stuff sometimes. But I wish we would get out of the business of this Weiss and Gold Ring. So I don't know how much money y'all going to sink into this. And I know Gator wanted to separate from that, and I know y'all been trying to get measures to do that. So I just wish this thing could go away and y'all put some money like what you're going to do on Monroe, where you're going to try to build a complex and stuff like that there. That money could be spent all over the city. So that's what I think.
Thank you, Mr. White. Discussion?
I have a question. Mayor, I submitted a request for the plans or, I guess, renderings or just plans for the Weiss and Gold Ring building. Did you get that request?
Yeah, so, Ms. Lumberton, as we've said before, on the city's website under the Transparency tab, there is no project probably in Alexandria in decades that has the information that you've asked for, more than that. But there's no floor plan for, so think about what we're talking about tonight. We've had people come to the mic and say, she's run her course, let her go. You're approving a demolition. That's letting that go. That's what you're getting rid of things in the building that can never come back into commerce and frankly pose a danger to the citizenry. The floor plan for a building that you're black boxing, that you're making into a box for either ready development or to give away or whatever you decide to do, is just that. And we offered to take the council through, as everybody remembers, and set that up. We didn't receive a single call. And so what you would see if you walked in there is a very cleaned out building with all of the structures that pose the danger removed. So the floor plan, you just walk in and look. We don't draw up a floor plan for a building that we're not planning to develop. It's just an open box.
Anything that lists the size and dimensions of the property?
Yeah, the appraisals that you have in your record, that we put all of those appraisals to the council. They're all public records. They're all, everything that we have on it, we have posted, and it's numerous documents that went through proposal processes and ordinances with the council that already approve us doing this. We're bringing it to you because we want to remind the council where we are. It's just part of that transparency. The council has approved the actions for Weiss and Gold Ring long ago. The administration between my previous one and now did a Weiss and Gold Ring project again. I have it here. And when we came back, we took that back over and worked it through with a group that wanted too big of a gap fill for their project. That a $12 million project. They wanted well over 25% of it to be held publicly, and we kept holding them to, look, we'll help, but it's 25%, it's 25%, it's 25%. They kept growing it, and we let that term sheet lapse. But the idea separately of the building being development ready is not only something good to do, but I know what we hear in here, but I've talked to Chris Massengill and every expert developer there is in the city that I can talk to, and they just disagree. They think it is either absolutely part of what you'd have to do to fix and use if the bones hold as we think they do, but what you don't want to do is let it not be developed. And so those are just opportunities.
I guess my concern is,
This is about a demolition, so I'm going,
I understand.
we're about demolishing part of it.
I wish I could have gotten that response to someone, to my email, as opposed to getting it here. So,
I've given it verbally more than once.
Okay.
And I will put it in writing to you.
All right.
It's actually written. I just thought it'd be easier to tell you.
I understand. Well, because building condos, that would be nice, but is it, I guess my question is it even feasible with the number of condos?
Sure it is. So if you, again, if you go to that transparency tab, in fact, I'll just click it and bring the document back again. It's that thick, but it has a whole plan of everything you can do. All of the findings that went into this by 3 different groups, including JQuad, looking at all of those findings have been made by this council. There's probably not any project with more findings behind it than that one, other than the River Act itself,
Okay,
this
I
whole thing.
understand that the findings are out there, but is there someone who's going to willing to step up and make that financial commitment to make it happen? That's the challenge.
Well, the challenge is that developers, as I've discussed with those in economic development in the city, is it's hard for developers to want to step up when they watch some of what happens here, and what they're hearing is, no matter what we do to step up, there's so much disagreement and so much acrimony, we're not going to be able to get anything done. The answer is yes. There's a very serious local developer, which makes me much happier, because you get the out-of-town folks, they always want that gap is huge that they want taken care of by someone else. This is a local developer that's proposing to do multiple projects here and would propose to put this in it. As I outlined before in both my briefing and to you in this room, one of the ideas is to take the building off our hands in an exchange, and we take that parking garage that needs to be redone, and we reprogram the parking garage, which we all need for downtown for multiple buildings. Because of CLTCC, its continued growth, it's going to continue to grow, and with LSUA's building coming on. So those opportunities are there. Economic development can take 30 years. There's buildings down here now that are over 30 years old, and one of them's the Bentley. There's a bunch of buildings that can take decades to develop. That's not new in economic development. That's part of economic development. And that's part of redoing downtowns, and it's a constancy in that, the wax and wane of properties and buildings. And so Weiss and Goldring's building is not the enemy here. The real enemy of getting this done is we just have to converge and decide. If we want to dump it off to somebody, we can do that. But that doesn't change needing to demolish any dangers that it poses. And I think if you take it off our hands, we're going to come out all right, given what it appraises. We did it with the Holiday Inn. We've done it with every project in Spark that I've been in charge of. So I don't expect a loss on this one either.
All right, I have no further questions.
Anybody else?
Madam President, for 10-plus years, that Wise and Goldring building, excuse me, has been the cornerstone of somebody's economic development. To me, and I don't care, I'm not one vote up here, we're putting lipstick on a pig. It needs to come from under the Alexandria control, sell it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have so many citizens that tell me we need to stop spending money on that Wise and Goldring building. Not from just District 1, excuse me, but from the entire city. So I heard the mayor just say 30 years. We've been over that 10-plus years. Let's drive across the river to Pineville, just briefly. Look at how they have renovated downtown Pineville. Those people want to invest into it. The mayor just stated we want local, but local isn't good all the time. If there's someone who can come from out of here and do something with that building, fine, let them have it. That's my concern. That's my thought. I wish we stopped spending money on that building, get rid of it. Ladies and gentlemen, as councilman at large, I'm just not speaking from districts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's from people all over the entire city. They're sick of hearing about that Wise and Goldring building, and they're more so tired of the citizens spending their taxpayer dollar on that building. Thank you kindly.
Just for the record, I hear the opposite, and just to point out in Pineville, look at all of what we have in our downtown, and then look at what Pineville's doing. In absolute countervailing fashion of what you just heard from Mr. Green, look at what Pineville's doing at Central. They're seeking public dollars to redo a multi-decade-old giant campus of dilapidated, falling into the ground, dangerous buildings. But what are they doing? They're coming together to get a plan, to get a lot of public funding to prop all that up, to attract private developers, because a private developer would never go do that without a P3, a public-private partnership. And so that makes my point stronger than I can make it for myself. Thank you, Mr. Green.
And we're voting on demolish.
You're voting on a bid right now to demolish part of it. so.
Demolish part of it.
Call the question, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
No.
opposed?
No.
Motion carried. Number 28.
Number 28, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for gas meters and Itron Earth. The administration is requesting that this item be delayed for 2 weeks. Need a motion and second.
Motion by Councilwoman Felter, second.
Second delay.
Second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 29, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for janitorial chemicals.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 30, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for herbicides.
Motion, please. Motion by Council Fowlerman, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 31, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for chlorination equipment.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Felter. Public comments, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 32, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for annual work uniforms for various departments.
Moved by Councilman Fowler, second by
Second.
Councilman Johnson. Mr. White, you have public
Thank you,
comments?
Madam President.
You're welcome, Mr.
I
White.
just hope that we would, again, shop local and buy local from any of these places with uniforms and stuff like that. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. I agree with you on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 33, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for ready-mix concrete.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second. Second by Councilman Floyd. Public comments, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 34, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for construction and maintenance materials.
Motion, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Floyd. Public comments, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 35, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for the sewer replacement on Mary Street Phase 2.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by
Second.
Councilman Floyd. Public comments, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 36, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for Adams Pump Station line renovation.
Motion by Councilman
Second.
Fowler, second by Councilman Floyd. Public comments by Mr. White.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome.
On that, I know, I don't know if y'all been watching the news and everything. We may be expecting a big flood event of 10 inches to 20 inches. So all these pump stations and stuff need to be working and everything. I've noticed that usually when we have a close flood event and stuff like that, they have the sweepers and stuff out. And I've got a whole bunch of debris at my house because I cut some trees down and stuff. And the city hadn't been by to pick that up. But like I said, that flood event from Wednesday through, I think, Sunday, it's supposed to be a major rain event. So I wonder why the sweepers aren't out, or I hadn't seen any sweepers out. Have they cleaned the ditches and everything, or the drains, to make sure the drains aren't stopped up? Because we just had a flood event not too long ago. So I'm just asking, you know, and the mayor's gone now, so you can't ask him.
I can answer.
Okay.
You have debris or give me your address, but
3638 10th
You don't
Street.
know it?
I say it all the time.
3638 10th Street.
You want my phone number? Area code 318-446-6934.
yeah, we'll get someone out there to get that before the rain start.
But,
You cut it down yourself, Mr. Wayne?
I had somebody cut it down. I can't do it. I'm disabled, Jim
It's not in-
Bernard, so
it's not in your
I
drain,
can't.
though, is it,
I
Mr.
couldn't
White?
cut it down myself.
It's not in your drain, huh?
I didn't say, no, it's on the side.
Okay.
Huh? Huh? No, I didn't cut, somebody else cut it down.
That's all
I'm
right.
disabled. I can't cut
I'm
it.
sure it was a family
We'll get somebody out there.
Okay. Like I said, are y'all gonna get the street sweepers and stuff and clean the drains? Well, I hadn't seen them. That's all I'm saying, Chuck.
Mr. Johnson said he would take care of that, Mr. White.
Just a brief.
Okay.
Mr.
Well,
White.
I'm just saying.
Mr. Johnson
That's
said
all.
he'll take care of that.
All right.
All right. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 37, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for Alexander Zoological Park digital pylon sign refurbishment.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Valord. Public comments? Discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 38, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept all bids submitted for electric utility right-of-way emergency services.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Valord. Public comments? Discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 39, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for Alexander Zoological Park Jaguar exhibit netting.
Motion, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Valord. Public comment from Ms. Wild.
No hate to the Jaguars. I just think that if basic needs aren't met for the residents, maybe we shouldn't have a Jaguar. Do you believe that everyone in Alexandria has the same opportunities to thrive? Equity is allocating resources based on need to ensure everyone has the same opportunity to thrive. Why do people have brown water? Let's remember basics. Basic needs for survival. A town cannot prosper if basic infrastructure is not maintained in all neighborhoods. Before enhancing areas that already have functioning infrastructure, we must ensure every resident has reliable sewage, safe water, functional streetlights, and safe roads. It is both the ethically right thing to do and essential for long-term financial health and growth. If basic needs aren't met, human behavior is completely dominated by survival instincts. If basic needs aren't met, human behavior is completely dominated by survival instincts. We cannot have a thriving city if a significant portion of our residents are struggling to meet basic needs. I wish the mayor was here. A mayor for all the people prioritizes the most vulnerable because it lifts the entire community. The mayor actually inspired me to get off the internet and come in person. I was disgusted at the way he spoke to the citizens and to some of y'all. I couldn't tell who he works for or who he thinks he works for. When men are deeply emotional, they
Ms.
make
Wild,
poor decisions.
Can I stop you for a minute?
I'd like to know if the mayor has brown water.
Thank you for your comments. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 40, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the proposal received from Wesco Distribution for 15 kV cable to construct underground tie for the electric distribution department.
Moved by Councilman Fowler,
Second.
second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments by Mr. White.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome,
The
sir.
only thing, when we put all this stuff underground, and if we have a water event or anything like that, that could pose a problem too by putting all those wires underground and everything. I'm for keeping things above ground, then that way you can look and see if there's a problem and everything. Once you put it underground, you don't know, where the problem may be or anything like that. So that's just my comment.
Thank you. Discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
I, resolution public hearing, community development, number 41, to continue a public hearing, taking action on the cost of demolition on the following structure, 2211 North MacArthur Drive.
A motion and a second to open public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard to open the public hearing. Need a motion and a second. Public comments, discussion. All in favor?
Public meeting is open.
Good evening.
Right there.
I think everyone here is well aware of which property this is for, the Guest House Hotel in North MacArthur in District 1. The city has incurred direct expense. We didn't really get into it last time what it was for, but the city is paying for that fence that is around the property at the moment. Also, we got that black mesh to try to keep people out of it since there was current problems, and it's not being maintained clearly. The city doesn't own it, of course. So this lien request is to pay for that rental of that fence. It's for the whole year. So unfortunately, we may be back here again for another year and a year's time, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Just want to speak to notification. Everyone was notified, all the potential owners and interested parties, tax sale purchasers, et cetera, including all of their attorneys. Made sure of that. Speaking of their attorneys, you guys may have seen a correspondence from the attorney for Alexandria Hospitality Partners who wanted to get us to stop notifying them because he's saying that we're bringing an action against them. That's not what this is. This is an action against the property. The lien would go with the property. It is important to file the lien. The way these liens work is once they're recorded, they're good for third parties. Basically, that means if someone was looking at it to buy it, for example, they would see it and they would know that that obligation exists. It's really important for us to secure our obligations. Failure to do so, frankly, could be an Article 7 violation since we are paying for the fence on the behalf of the owners. And speaking of litigation, there are at least a few lawsuits about it, including one with the bank. The city's in court to try to determine ownership. I think there's this idea that the city's unable to figure out who owns it. I don't want to get into litigation, but the city strongly believes we do know who the owner is. They've just been resisting it, and this litigation forcing us to file a petition for declaratory judgment, we believe is a dilatory tactic. Speaking of settlement, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. There was a delay last time that was requested based on a possible settlement by one of the owners of the property, using your words, Councilman.
Yeah, well, he asked for 2 weeks. He was given 2 weeks, so we're here to vote on it.
Do you mind if the city asks who he is?
Access anyone.
Just in the interest of transparency. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I understand. We ask for your authorization to file the lien, please.
Can't do that, man.
Is it anyone here to represent that property? Anyone here?
Let's call for the question.
Call for the question.
Call for the question.
Call for the question, all in favor?
You need a motion.
Move. Okay, move, and a second.
Need a second.
Second.
I got the second.
Motion by,
Mr. Fowler.
Mr. Fowler, second by Mr. Labadan.
Discussion, public comments,
Public comments,
discussion,
discussion.
all in favor,
All in favor?
any opposed,
Any opposed?
motion carried.
Motion
Thank you. We'll have it filed. Thank you.
This meeting adjourned.